Hey, 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 how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Yeah. Hey. Hello, 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 hello. I feel as if I'm quite dark. I feel like I should put on a light or something. It feels pretty dark here. I'm not sure what to do to make it lighter. I might put on a light. Give me a second. Oh, dum, 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 dum. See if this makes it any brighter. Although it isn't actually that dark, really. But it feels like I'm dark. Let's see. Hello. Yeah, it's still dark. I wonder if it seems dark to you guys over there. But anyway, say hello as you come on. This is the Church of RNK. My name is Rosemary, Nonny. How are you doing? So what happens when your idea seems incredibly huge? I've had one of those, today I've had conversations with people. One person, I put a post on the page about the fact that we're here to change the world, okay? I know it, you know it, so let's just go on and get on and do it, right? So I put that on the page and I had someone say something along the lines of, no, I'm not here to change the world, but he couldn't quite tell me what he was here to do, basically. So I was a bit like, yeah, okay, whatever. Okay, but then I also wrote a post earlier about the fact that you're not going to be punished for wanting money. And it kind of started a bit of a conversation with somebody else about this. And it ended up with something about, and I haven't checked it recently actually because I've been off the internet for a little while now. I don't know if the conversation has carried on or anything. But it did leave me, that conversation left me feeling a little bit like, because I have this big idea, you know? I have this crazy, huge idea. It's called Project 334K, okay? I have this idea of supporting 334,000 people to reach financial independence and abundance and all of those wonderful, wonderful words, basically. And you know, I came away from that conversation a little bit thinking, oh my God, maybe, well, you know, I only thought about it for about 1 second, truth be told, because these are things that have gone through my mind and I've worked through already. But it was like that, maybe it's just too big. Maybe it's just deluded to think that I can actually impact that many people. And I remember actually having a conversation with my brother not so long ago. Actually, the guy is just responding to my to me, so maybe he said something else, I don't know, or he did respond, I don't know. Anyway, what am I saying? I just had a notification come on my phone. I should switch those things off. So I had a conversation with my brother as well, and he sees the hugeness of my vision, and thankfully is quite supportive, as much as he can be anyway, because he has his own visions as well. But and we got to talking about, because even then, this was a few weeks ago now, actually talking about different people and their different learning styles and how can I actually impact that many people when there's a heck of a lot of different people. And that was one of the things that this guy mentioned today about the fact that everybody has different learning styles. There's so many different people that it will need a huge number, it would need a government or something to kind of step in and change things in order for things to change. Now, I am not a believer in waiting for the government. Truth be told, I think the individual person has to take full responsibility for their own up-leveling. Absolutely. I do think that people sometimes don't recognize just how powerful they are. We've been trained to think that we have to wait until someone tells us what to do or how to do it, because that's the way we were trained. You know, you woke up, you were born, your parents started telling you what to do from birth, and then they put you in school where your teachers told you what to do. They told you what you should want to do. They told you when to be where you should be and blah, 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 blah. And then you went on into work. The same thing carried on happening. And it was almost like your whole life you've been trained to believe that you're less than in some way. Okay, well, at least I hope it's not deliberate. If I put on my more conspiratorial head, I might think that it is deliberate. The deliberate desire to keep the masses down, okay? But I try not to think so conspiratorially. I don't think. I do sometimes have it in the back of my brain, truth be told. And then you know what? I come from a particular race, as you can see, basically. And that comes with its own dramas, okay? Now, I'm not one that has ever paid that much attention to it, truth be told. My family and everybody's always like, oh, it's because I'm this color, it's because I'm that color. And I just kind of think, no, you know what, I'm going to make my own way. I don't really care what color I am. Frankly, if anything, I'm going to try and play it to my advantage. Thank you very much. But I do know that being a member of this race, that does also come with its own dramas, especially I suppose if your ancestors or ancestry were slaves. I don't think mine were. If they were, I don't know about it. And yes, there's still a lot of victimhood around it. There's still a lot of blame around it, but in my mind, that doesn't help anything. But it is a fact, though, that there's a group of people, not necessarily even just of my color. There's a group of people of any color in every nation. There's going to be a group of people who feel in some way put upon, unseen, unheard, unknown. And where am I going with all of this? Where am I going? I started this for a reason. So yes, all of this comes with all of this, you know, people come with all kinds of different issues. Let's put it that way. And so here I am with this big idea of 334,000 people, which actually is not that big an idea when you think about it, because I actually did a calculation. 334,000 people, when compared, say hello, say hello, say hello. I want to hear from you guys, okay, as you come on. 334,000 people, actually, when you compare it to like 7 billion people on the planet, actually is only like 0.0 something % of the world. So it's really actually a very small proportion of the world. But it's big to me. Or it feels big to me, but it feels also like what I'm called to. And so I suppose I'm talking to you because I believe that some of y'all that I'm speaking to, most of you will have a particular call on your life that may seem bigger than you've ever done. And it may not be 334,000 people, but it might be, you know, it might even be just $5,000 a month, which I say just, but it's a big deal if you've never done it before, okay? In your own business. It might be $10,000 a month if it's a big deal if you've never done it before. Hey Mel, how are you doing? Lovely to see you, my honey. Lovely to see you. So everybody has these big ideas for themselves of where they would like to elevate to. And then, okay, I'm having this conversation with this dude who's telling me about how in China, the government encourages everybody to be successful, which is why most people are going to be, or lots of people in China are going to be millionaires. Whereas in places like America, or possibly here in the UK, everybody's trying to keep you down, is what he's saying. And so that, you know, corporations should pay more in order to have staff. It's a massive deal, yes. It is a massive deal. I think. I'm not sure what you're saying is a massive deal exactly, but I'm going to agree with you anyway. I've said many things here, so I'm wondering which one is a massive deal. But anyway, and you know that the government should step in and do this and do that, and I don't believe that. I personally don't. Well, I think maybe in an ideal world that's what the government would do, but that's not what the government does. And so waiting for the government to step in and save everyone, I think is just a lost cause before you even begin. Yes, I do think there's room for change. Absolutely. Oh yes, extra 5,000 to 10,000 a month. Absolutely, that does seem. It can seem, when you've never done it before, like a really huge deal. Which is why, well, I suppose, to begin with, it's not. You have to immerse yourself in thinking differently so that it becomes a normal thing, if we're talking about that specifically. But even for me, with my 334,000 people, I have to, and some of the work that I do in order to make it less, oh my gosh, it's so up there somewhere. Because if it's up there somewhere, I will never get there. So I have to normalize it. And I do it by completely repeating it all the time. So it becomes my normal. So I say it to you guys all the time. I say it to myself all the time. It becomes normal. It becomes more and more normal. It's not quite normal yet, but we're getting there. See? And the same with you with the 5,000, 10,000 a month. It has to become normal. You have to mix with people where, you know, for me, serving, there's coaches that I work with and they're like, yeah, what, 334,000 people? That's easy. You mix with someone that says that, you suddenly start to think, oh, maybe it is easy, okay? And the same with you, with the 5,000, 10,000 a month, or for anybody that has that particular goal, it needs to become normal. Because if not, it will always be that thing that you can never reach. It's that thing it's on a pedestal somewhere up there. Oh my gosh. $10,000, is it possible? Yes, it is. To some person, $10,000 a day is normal. So suddenly it's like, oh, when you mix with someone like that, suddenly you find yourself thinking, what's so hard about it? Okay, let me just go and get it. Ultimately, it needs immersion. And I suppose that's kind of what this guy that was saying, and he's probably still saying, I'm not sure whether he's still talking to me on my profile, but he's saying that there's lots of people come with different learning styles, different ways of education. It's not enough just to give them education. It's not enough just to give people training. And I know that to be true. I was saying this to my brother as well, because it's not enough. It's not enough just to have information. Because if it was just information that people needed, wouldn't everybody be rich? For goodness sake, you can Google anything and everybody would be rich, okay? But everybody isn't rich because it's more than education. It's what I'm saying even to Mel right here and to saying to myself right here, which is that it's immersion in a different way of looking at life. It's immersion in a different way of thinking. Right now, most people are immersed in their current way of thinking. Everybody around them thinks exactly the same way. I imagine that, you know, for Mel right here, because you're speaking to me, honey, everybody around you probably also thinks that 5,000 to 10,000 a month is a big deal. And so, therefore, it will probably remain a big deal for everyone until someone breaks out. And what I said to this dude was, because, you know, for a moment there, I'm like, yeah, I agree what he's saying here, that unless the government, you know, steps in and tries to encourage everybody to do more. And, you know, there's all, because he mentioned as well about the slavery thing at some point, you know, African Americans and this and that and the other. And I do know that that comes with a mindset that makes, that causes people to struggle, unfortunately, because it just always feels victimy. It feels victimy, as though people are always doing something to you. And when you feel that way, unfortunately, victims don't win. Victims don't win. That's the thing. So if you feel a victim of your government, oh my God, they've changed some policy. They're taking some money away from me now. How can they do this to me? Oh my gosh. Victims don't win. It is poverty mindset. Absolutely, it is. And it may even be justified. It may be. Now, personally, I think, you know, okay, the generations, it's past. It's in the past. Okay, some people would say it's not, okay? And I'm just talking about the whole, you know, the African American thing. But then at the same time, some would say, no, wherever you are in the world, it's a problem. And there can be a reason for anyone to say, I can't prosper because this and that happened. But if we keep saying that and waiting for the government to change things, or the government to suddenly wake up and make policies that enable, I don't know what, it's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. It's just never going to happen. I personally, which is where the whole Project 334K, I suppose, is why I feel called to it, is that I do believe that it's the individual person. The individual person. Yeah, I know UK poverty is real. I'm not saying it's not real. I'm not saying poverty is not real. I've lived in Africa, for goodness sake, honey. I know poverty. UK poverty compared to African poverty is probably, I would say, maybe African poverty is even worse. I would say there's no such thing as a food bank in Nigeria. That's for sure. If you're poor, you poor, ultimately. So you know, everybody has a different way of judging poverty dependent on their experience, for sure. And I do know that because I've come from Africa, I see things so completely different. So when people say to me about poverty in US or UK, there's part of me thinking, well, you haven't been to Africa yet. Basically. So there is that for me because of my experience, because of the things that I've been through. But then for someone here, it is real though. So I'm not even taking away from that, because poverty is poverty wherever it shows up, no matter the depths of it, it is poverty. And if people are feeling broken and victimy inside, then it's poverty. Okay. Now, where am I going with all of this? What I'm trying to say here is this. Change. One, and this is what I said to this person, I fully believe in the power of the individual to step out of their current circumstances and choose a different way forward. Is it easy? No. Not when everything around you is affirming what you already believe to be true. If everything and everyone around you is affirming what you believe right now, then it is incredibly hard to believe that you can make 5 to 10K a month, that I can reach 334,000 people, that whatever your big idea is, if you remain thinking what you're currently thinking that hasn't led you to the thing that you say that you want, if you remain in that environment and you don't do anything to change it, you don't do anything to change your mind, then you won't get there. You won't get there. Okay? It takes immersion. Hi, Kayan. And yes, I'm glad you do. It takes immersion in a different way of thinking. And it's thinking first. Some people don't realize just how powerful their thoughts are. Exactly. Good. I'm glad that you're changing your mindset daily. I do think it takes immersion. So this guy was saying to me that, it's not enough just to give people education. I know that. Hence the club, hence the Deliberate Millionaire Fast Track Club, to immerse people in a different way of thinking. Because I know that if it was just information people needed, honey, everybody would be rich already. Literally. But people aren't. And so, what I'm trying to say here is this. If you have a big idea or what feels like a big idea right now, and I don't care what it is. So some of y'all might think, the idea of making 5 to 10K is mercenary. I don't. I think it's absolutely essential. And in fact, I think that's the bare minimum everybody should be making. I don't care where you are on the planet. I think that should just be normal. But it isn't going to come because a government or a corporation decided, you know what, I'm just going to raise everybody's income right now and pay everybody more. No, they won't. They won't. The only way that would change is if one of us decided that we were going to elevate and get to the place where we actually own a corporation and decide that we want to do that with our people. But guess what? In order to become those people that do that, we have to elevate. We have to make the decision to break free of what holds us bound. Because I have coming away from this conversation with this dude, was just that feeling inside of me of a slight hopelessness. Like, oh my gosh, it is a big deal what I'm trying to do here. And yes, people come with all kinds of different ways of looking at the world. And I may not, maybe it's just too big. Maybe there's just no way I'm going to reach everyone. Maybe. But you know what? You and I are called to specific people to deliver a specific message. We're not the saviors of the whole world. We are here for a specific thing. Okay? And so, don't be disillusioned by your big ideas. Don't think that it's beyond you, because if you have the vision, and I say this all the time, but I have even had to say it to myself today, and I say it to you again. If you have the vision, it is because it's you to do it. As if, lol. I'm not sure what you mean when you say that, honey. You are exactly the person to make it happen. If making 5 to 10K is something that you dream about, then you can be assured that it is within you to do it. Yes, you have to make the decision first to believe it's possible for you. Because if you don't make that initial decision to believe it's possible for you, oh, the savior of the world, I know, 7 billion people, my goodness, imagine that. No, but each person, as I'm saying, is true. Everybody has their people that you're called to, because the only way you're going to make lots of money anyway is if you serve the people that you are called to. The more people you serve, the more money you make. If you have a vision, that is your permission to go forward. If you have a vision, it's because you are exactly the person to bring it to life. You are exactly the person to bring it to life. But you have to decide that it's truth first. Because before you do that, before you make that decision inside of you, there will be all kinds of reasons why you cannot do it. There will be my skin color. There will be, oh, my children need me. Oh, my partner doesn't like it. Oh, I have to be at work all the time and my boss is really hateful and I just have no time. Oh, I feel ill. Oh, I'm depressed. Oh, my parents need me. Oh, the car broke down again. There will always be a reason. And you know what? It's because you haven't made a decision to win yet. And it's okay. It's okay. Sometimes even it is a journey to the decision. But if you want your life to change and you want those big ideas to come to pass, it starts with a decision that you will bring them to pass. But I need you to understand this as well. No matter how big your idea is, if you have it, this vision for it, you can do it. You are more powerful than you realize. You need to know this. this week particularly, I've been saying to the DMs, unleash the beast, basically, because inside of each one of us is an incredible amount of power that we are scared of sometimes because it's not normal. Most people are kind of wimpy. They're kind of wimpy, okay? And I lived a very wimpy life, I'll tell you right now. And there are still areas of my life that I think I could be a lot more courageous. And the same goes for every one of you listening to me. You need to unleash that inner beast of yours. I was just reading a story about, Michelangelo, the guy that did the whole sculpture, David. At 26, this guy was practically crippled with arthritis. And he was doing this David sculpture. And, everybody was waiting for it. And I mean, that guy actually, his name is on lots of stuff, this Michelangelo dude. Basically, I think is he the one that did lots of different things? Or am I thinking about some other person? I don't know. But whichever way, he did this statue or sculpture of David. And when he finished it and everybody came to see it and everybody was wowed and oh my gosh about it, all he said was, you know what? Because he'd prayed a heck of a lot for inspiration, which, honeys, we need to do. Okay? I definitely know that most of what I say, in fact, I wouldn't say most, I'd say all of what I say, all of what I do, comes from my relationship with Source. No doubt in my mind. Because sometimes the stuff that I come up with, I'm thinking, my goodness, where did that even come from? Basically. So that's one thing. But then the other thing he said was this. This sculpture, all I did was get this slab of marble and take away everything that was not David. And what's left behind is David. Yes, I can only really take inspired action. If not, I'm flatlined. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I will still do the work, whether I feel inspired or not, but I still know that I tap into that. I tap into that wisdom inside of me. But anyway, coming back to this story of this Michelangelo, he ultimately said that he took away everything that wasn't David from the sculpture and left behind David. And I think about us as human beings. Life has planted a heck of a lot of non-you on you. There was so much non-Rosemary all around Rosemary when she finally hit rock bottom and suddenly thought, you know what, I'm so tired of carrying all this weight around with me. I am shedding it. And so little by little, I started to shed stuff. And so now you see me. Not because it's completely me yet, there's still stuff to shed. But little by little, I'm taking away all the layers, all the nonsense that was placed on me. And some of that nonsense felt real and right. And that's what's happening to some of y'all. Some of the family traditions, the religion traditions, the sexuality traditions, this is how we make money traditions that you don't even recognize are holding you back. You don't know that some of that stuff is victim-y and victims don't win. Some of that stuff is just not helpful. And unless you take it off, the real you doesn't come through. And so I'm saying to you to start this journey of unleashing the real you. And I say this stuff. I am, some of y'all might roll your eyes listening to that because I would be you. I would be you on the other side thinking, oh my gosh, Rosemary, did you just say unleash the real you? Oh my goodness, how cheesy. And yet, it's the truth. And yet, I find myself, chipping away from the wall we have. Absolutely. I find myself saying these cheesy things and recognizing that they are absolute truth. Absolute truth. That you, right now, are covered up with all kinds of crazy nonsense that makes you think that all you have right now is all you'll have or all you can have for right now. You might shout, no, I know I'm born for more, but tell me, are your actions telling me that? Because if your actions are not telling me that you are born for more, then you don't believe it. Because if you believed it, you would be taking different actions. That's just the truth of it. Your actions tell the truth more than your words do. Words are easy. I have lots of words, you know. I've always had lots of words before I kind of hit rock bottom. I had lots of words telling my friends about how I was going to change the world, man. And I didn't do anything. And I lost hope for a very long time there. At least it felt like a long time. It was only 4 years, really. But it felt really long to me because I'd never been that person that felt hopeless. But I did feel hopeless for quite a season there. Till, I gave birth to my children. I had to look them in the eye and think, no. You are not going through some of the stuff that I went through. We are changing things. They became my why. I woke up. I started digging myself out of the hole that I found myself in. I'm still moving forward. I'm still digging myself to the next level for me. Because the big goal for me was, at the start of my business journey, was really just to be home with my children. I wanted to watch them grow up. I wanted to figure out how I was going to make that happen and bring in an income. And I got there. Listen, you change the world when you change yourself, and that has ripple actions bit by bit. Absolutely, I agree. Absolutely. That's the thing. Because that was something this guy said on the page earlier, that I'm not here to change the world. And then I asked him, what's he here to do? Because the truth of the matter is, I think whatever you're here to do, it changes the world just by you being all of you. Absolutely. That is the truth, Mel. I agree completely with you. That every single person has a ripple effect on this planet. So you can't help it but change the world. But this is it. Whatever your big ideas are, they are absolutely possible for you. You need to find a big enough reason why, though, to kind of break free of your current situation, or else you'll just keep returning to comfort. Even discomfort can be comfortable after a bit. You stay uncomfortable for a while, you start to think, that's fine, I can live here forever. It's okay, it's not too bad. And so then you forget about the big idea. But can I call you back to your big idea? And ask you to, because the affirmation I was actually going to sing today was this. I've sung it before, but it's the, I may be one, but I am one, and I can change the world. It was that one of, you may think that what you are or who you are and what you're here to do doesn't matter. But you are one. You can change the world. And this is what I was saying to this dude. Actually, I keep saying that and I never actually tell you what I said to the dude. But what I said to the dude was that, you know what? I'm not waiting for the masses. I'm not even here for the masses. I am here for the next person, the one person in front of me. If I can impact that one person, that's good enough for today. If I can impact somebody else again, oh my gosh, that's great. If I can impact another person, who then goes on to impact another person, who then goes on to impact another person. Maybe that person impacts 2 people. And then maybe those 2 people impact 3 people. Next thing you know, we have 10 people on a movement. 10 people are activated, ready to change the world, man. And it all started with one person. One person. So I don't need to wait for the government. I don't need to wait for some corporation to wake up one morning and decide, you know what? We're going to pay everybody 5 to 10K. Basically. I don't need to wait for that because I just need to work with the one person in front of me. Same with you. So you have that big idea. Where is your one person first? Before you start talking about, even me with my 334,000, you know what? It still comes back down to the one person first. Because if I can't reach one person, 334,000 is never gonna happen. It starts with one person. One person catching the vision, running with it, choosing to step the heck up, change their life, change people around them. One freaking person. That's all. So when you consider your big ideas and you're telling yourself, I'm not sure I can do it, bring it back down to the one person. Ask yourself, can I make a difference to one person today? Yes, okay. Then I can make my big idea happen. One freaking person a day or a minute. In this moment, can I change one person's life with my product, with my service, with my book, with my art, with my music, with my whatever? Can I help? Can I make a difference to one person? That's all. And so yes, affirmation, bringing it all full circle too. I may be one, but I am one, and I can change the world. You know what? There may be super educated people out there who have studied all the psychology of people on the planet, and they know the 20 million different ways in which they can change people's lives, but it doesn't even matter if they're not actually actively doing anything right now. It doesn't matter. It's like this person saying to me about there's so many different learning styles, and I've studied this and I've studied the other, and it's like, I get it. I agree with you even. But I don't care, because all I'm looking for is the one person I can impact today. And if I can find that one person, then I'm on my way. That's it. I keep moving forward. I keep moving forward. But yes, I completely agree with the dude that it's not just information. If all I'm giving you guys is information, nothing will change. It's immersion. You have to be immersed in a different way of seeing, being, feeling, thinking. That is why the club exists. Because yeah, you know what? I can create many standalone courses, and I do. Because I think, you know what? The more of these that people consume, the more they will be immersed in a different way of looking at life, looking at things, thinking. Because until we get a change of mind, it's difficult to do anything else. Because you don't even see that your thinking and your actions are flawed. You think you're working really hard and you're doing all you can. And I'm telling you, you're not even touching a fraction of your possibility. But you don't know that, because you might even be doing a little bit better than the people around you. And so you're comparing yourself to them and thinking, I'm okay. And you are okay. But do you want to just be okay? Just want to be average? Or do you want all that you are born to be? Because if you want all, you're going to need to immerse yourself in a whole different environment, a whole different way of looking at life. And yes, that is why I created the club. Now, I know I'm not called to every single person on the planet. Some of y'all are listening to me and thinking, oh my gosh, it's just who knows what. Although, why you still be here, I don't know. But for some of you, I am your person. I am your person. But you have to get to the point where it's like, I'm ready for immersion in a different way of looking at life. This is one thing I know. Everybody that passes through the Deliberate Millionaire Fast Track Club that gets involved changes the way they act in the world, because they change the way they think about the world. And because they change the way they think, yes, they change the way they act. And because they change the way they act, they get different results. And I am blessed to be a bringer in that way. I'm blessed to be of service in that way. It's like even the Freedom book. If people will read that book, it will cause them to think thoughts they've never thought before. You mean? Except no. They have thought it. Most of you have thought some of the stuff before. But then you start to think, oh no, well, I must be strange because nobody else thinks this way around me. Nah, I must be wrong. I must be selfish. I must be greedy. I must, no. I just need to kind of, let's go back to church right now and pray and ask for forgiveness for thinking that way. And then you read it in my book, or you come into the club and I'm telling you what you've always known. And I'm giving you permission to actually allow yourself to strip away the nonsense so that you can make a difference to your one person, then the next person, and then the next person. And in changing other people's lives, you are changing yours as well. Okay? But in an intentional way, because I know lots of y'all have done, you try. Okay? I used to try too. I used to try and help people, but I was coming from a place of weakness. And so nothing ever really stayed. Nothing really stuck. But now I'm in a different place because I've immersed myself in a different way of thinking. I've worked with people who make millions, and I know their thinking is so completely different from what I was brought up with. And because of that, I'm able to see things so differently from the masses. And you too need that immersion experience. Yes, you need the knowledge, no doubt. You need the knowledge to know what to do to grow your business. There's no doubt about that, which is why the club provides that too. But it's not just knowledge. It's not just information. It's immersion in a different way of thinking, being, doing. And what you believe is possible for you needs to change. Because as I said earlier, if you think that making 5K or 10K or 30K a month is some kind of, oh my gosh, way out there, it will always be way out there. You have to bring it so it becomes your normal. And the only way it becomes your normal before it is physically your normal is that you start to mix or immerse yourself in a different way of seeing the world, because you start to mix with people who see the world differently as well. You start to have different thoughts planted inside of you that you consciously and deliberately allow to influence your thinking, because you know you have to elevate. You have to elevate, because how else is anything going to change? Anyway, I'm going to bring this to a close. I may be one, but I am one, and I can change the world. I may be one, but I am one, and I can change the world. And again, I may be one, but I am one, and I can change the world. Yeah, yeah, I may be one, but I am one, and I can change the world. Okay, I want you to take that on board yourself. Say it to you, affirm it to yourself. I may be one, but I am one, and I can change the world. So I don't care how big your idea seems. I don't care how greedy you think your idea is. Please allow yourself to want what you want. Okay? Basically, especially you spiritual people. You keep trying to qualify what is an allowed want and what is not allowed. You are allowed to create and want whatever you choose to. Whatever you choose to. And if you didn't listen to my audio Church of RNK this morning, please listen to it. Please listen to it. Because you are allowed. You just need to allow yourself to want all that you want and stop giving yourself some kind of, oh no, I'm greedy, oh no, I'm this, oh no, I'm the other. No, no, no. None of that is true. None of that is true. Just because you want something doesn't mean that you're taking it away from anybody else. It is within their rights as well to have it too. So don't you worry about anybody else to begin with. Let's start working with you. Because until you make it a reality for your life, how are you going to help anybody else make anything a reality for theirs? Come on now. Okay? Okay. I've put a link in there for the DM Club. Wasn't really exactly what I was going to say, but I do know that, yes, it is a place that some of y'all need to be. Because you do need that immersion. So I could have come on here and just talked about immersion and talked about what you need to do without giving you an actual plan forward, because this is the truth. I paid out a heck of a lot of money to get my immersion. I am not asking that from you because I am committed to my vision of Project 334K. I am asking you, though, to stop procrastinating, to stop overthinking and second-guessing yourself, to make a decision that, you know what, okay, maybe I don't completely believe yet that I am completely capable of, elevating in the way that I dream of. But the fact is that you dream about it. So there's a part of you that kind of does know it's possible. So you know what? What I'll first do is immerse myself in an environment that allows me to start to dream bigger. That allows me to want what I want. And to see it as allowable. Because if you don't even get past that, you will not allow yourself to take the right actions that get you forward. Your intuition will be telling you, do this. And you're thinking, no, I can't do that. Because underlying thought is, I'm not worthy. You are. you are not even touching a small proportion of your capability. You are not even, you are created in in the image of the divine. Do you get what that even means? Do you understand how powerful that makes you? You can literally write your new existence into reality. You can, but you don't know it because all you see is what is all around you, and you're basing all of your choices and all of your actions and your decisions on what you can see and feel and touch. Honey, you need to elevate. It's time for you to immerse yourself in a different way of thinking and being and doing and having and all that stuff. Come into the club. It's rosemarynonnynight.com/DM fast track, but this is it. I may be one, but I am one, and I can change the world. Please remind yourself of this over and over again until it becomes like, of course I can, man. Of course. Okay? Okay. It's time to fight for and to deliberately design the life you are born to live. Because, honey, you want to. And I can tell you right now, Spirit wants you to. I definitely want you to be wealthy in all areas of your life. All areas. All areas. Life in all its fullness. One life, guys. Let's really, truly live it. Until the next time, much love. Go forth and prosper. Much love, honeys. Bye.